Well, I'm back. This is Luca Mino. This I was going to say verse 52. No, this is episode 52. I wanted to say hello to everybody, and before I start, hmm, I have to have a coffee, and I had a special mug made with my name on it, and it explains how to you know how to drink your coffee. I don't even think I needed an explanation, but anyway, uh, very important. Today, I just wanted to go over two things basically, and I just wanted to make it quick, just so people don't have to sit there and sacrifice so much time. Um, so let's get right into it. I'm going to have to read a bit too, so forgive me for that. But um, I wanted to touch on placebo. You know, at first, most people know what placebo is. And I found it really cool. That the power of the mind. Oh, by the way, forgive me for the video that moves a little bit too much like this because I'm I'm in my lazy boy still. I'm still not capable of sitting in the upright computer chair. Um, with placebo, it's really cool because this is all relevant to me in my healing. From 4-stage cancer to 0 cancer today. And we're praying it's going to stay that way. And I'll know May 4th, and we'll probably do another video before then or at that time to let you guys know how things are going. But placebo is when uh, somebody will give you something, or the doctor will give you something, and a little white pill, right? And he'll say, "Oh, this is morphine. This will really help you, and this is, you know, this pill will really, really help you." And the person believes them, and it works. It's psychologically effective that way. That's what placebo is. And it's all in a positive context, right? Well, in the negative context, because everything has a second side to it, it's called the nocebo. And the nocebo is as important as the placebo itself. You got to watch for that because the placebo can go positive, but the nocebo is going to go negative, the other direction. So it's your choice, right? Placebo or nocebo in healing. And I've lived with beside people, and I've seen people do this. They'll say, I'm sick. I catch all the viruses. It's going to take a long time for me to heal. And meanwhile, the brain listens to that and says, "Okay, fine, all right, have it your way." So what are we trying to say? It's all attitude. That's all it is. It's all about attitude, like I said in my last show, and it has a huge impact on your healing or not. And the motivation that comes with attitude. And in the article, you'll see I have words and phrases that follow each other. For instance, there's attitude, then there's motivation, then there's the body that learns, then there's the mind that learns, then there are new life changes that happen, and then there are new habits that are formed, and then all of a sudden you have a new life. And that's exactly what happened to me. Exhibit A, I'll give you an example. Have fun cooking. My grandmother used to say, have fun, talk to your food, love your food, thank your food. Does anybody remember that song, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme? Right? Well, by Simon and Garfunkel. That's also a good example too, because that's what I'm doing. And guess what kind of spices I use every time? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. I think I'll even take a picture of that to put in my video. I have them right on the oven, and it's little things like that little tiny things like that most people won't even notice that really help from day to day. So that's basically one thing I wanted to touch on, because your healing is directly relevant to your attitude and to what you put it in your mouth. You know how they say, you are what you eat. Well, it sounds very cliche, but is it ever true? In my case, every single bite, every bite or every gulp of anything, and your health choices depend on your food choices now, right? That's the way it's going to work. A few days ago, when I was on the phone with my brother, who had just had his family vaccinated, including himself, it came up that, I was set on not getting vaccinated, and that kind of caused a little rift between us, until I realized that I was able to explain it to him in a way that he could understand, not so far off, not too extreme compared to his life and his logic. I was able to hear myself speak about how I felt. And it was really empowering. And I just it threw me back, because when we're challenged like that, it's exactly what it is. We challenge our belief system, and it's really good for us. And it was like, wow, it just, my response to him just kind of came out in our conversation. I said, at this point in my life, from stage 4 cancer to no cancer at all, I find myself having to make a choice between all the choices that were given to me, everywhere. And most of those choices, what my heart was saying was stay natural, and I want to eat and ingest stuff from nature, not stuff made in a lab. And I literally surprised myself at that time for saying that. And that's exactly what it seems like, that's what's going on today, in my humble opinion. We're being shifted away from absolutely everything that has to do with healing towards everything that corporations and globalists can profit from. And that's our sickness too, right? And it seems to me that we've become a nation of guinea pigs, not knowing where to go, what to do, how to eat, what to eat, because we're not taught these things. We're not educated. We're not encouraged to think healthy and work towards a healthy diet. Even if we knew what that entailed, it would be so expensive that most people wouldn't be able to afford it, sadly. And this is another thing that they're doing about depopulation. This is another tool that they have, for people that do know about how, what to use and what to eat and what to go after and what to buy, and the herbs and the spices and all those things. They're becoming very expensive. You notice also how vitamin C doubled in price, and when it doubles in price, there's half of the potency, right? We're not motivated towards healing and growing, and everybody thinks they're doing fine and they don't need help from us, right? And those are the people that aren't going to watch this video. The truth is, in the nutshell, and in parentheses, for those who are interested in learning more about what I'm doing, go to my YouTube channel to find out more on the topic. I know I spoke about this before, but it has to be said again, because it's screaming so freaking loud that, I can hear it. It's like, it's all about the topic of Rockefeller and how he alone changed America and its people's health forever. And he alone, I mean, in this example that I'm giving, right? And yes, I have mentioned it many times before, but this is so important about what happened to us. It begs to be repeated. Find out for yourself, do the math, do the research, find out how America was fed hemp. Animals were fed hemp. Everything was hemp back then. And we were living healthy. We were living from the earth, one of the healthiest nations on the planet, apparently around the 20s. And my friend Roger Landry will say yes, and we have cannabinoidal receptors in our brain. Well, this is true, we were fed hemp, and we do have cannabinoid receptors in our brain. Yes, we do, because that's what we're supposed to be on for our health. Oh, in comes Rockefeller, and everything changed. And it's my belief that this tidal wave of authority, of being able to change things so easily, to control people, has led to the way we're being handled as a people today. Very simple. Practically in the same generation, Rockefeller comes out with his petrochemicals, his poisons. He hijacks the medical profession and the education system. And he has the government in the palm of his hand, right? And most of us know about the prohibition of marijuana by Harry Anslinger, who was the nation's first FDA officer. in step, in lockstep with Rockefeller's switch from natural medicines to allopathy. And he goes on and on and on and on. Look for his quote. He's got plenty of them. Actually, there's 15 quotes on marijuana and how racist his remarks are. And they're pointed toward the minorities. And, you know, that's another rabbit hole. But mind you, the racist element is in full swing at the moment. You notice? That's what they're doing. It's all about race. It's all about divide and conquer. And it's funny because, you know, it's all over the news. It's all about race. It's all they're going into schools with it now. Rockefeller's carrot and the stick strategy back then was used against institutions that would not follow his lead. And I have a link in the article, and I really need for people to see that. Just take 9 minutes out of your day or night, and please watch the video. And then there are book burnings of, you know, on natural remedies and healings, just as we have blamed Hitler for doing to his country's books. And in another show, we can discuss the porn and the communist filth and the nasty content in books that Hitler had ordered burned, as he made sure that he kicked out Freemasons and Zionists from Germany. That's a whole other story. Again, don't believe me. Please see for yourselves how we're writing laws today. It's exactly in the same mindset that they were written in the past, and destroying our health in the beginning of our 20th century. Know thine enemy, period. And one of the reasons why I'm here speaking to you and doing this show is because I decided to buck the Rockefeller system. Yes, bucking chemotherapy, bucking radiation, bucking big pharma, and trying to stay as natural as I could. You know, it's kind of like a dream. It's kind of like you wake up and creator or God says, okay, you've been given a new chance at life. Cancer's gone. You're from 215 that you weighed before the operation to 158, I think it was, that I came out there with. I'll have to check it out. But now I'm up to 173.2 or 0.8. So I'm in the perfect range right now, 175, 173, and I'm balancing between those. And it's a new life. It's like I was given a second chance, literally. I don't want to sound corny, but this is the whole point of this show, this series, is to tell people, hey, you're in control of your life, and I'm proof of it. So I want to give everybody the tools that I had, that I searched for, and my strength to even be able to admit, first of all, that yes, I am in control, and it's my life, and I can do whatever I want to, you know, get healthy or to be sick and to, you know, to decline in health. It's my choice. And as far as man goes and stuff in a lab, I really don't believe that man can do a better job than God in any case, be it vaccines or GMOs or how government is playing God in so many different ways today. Karma is a real bitch, they say. No, they don't say that. They say karma is a real bitch only if you are. I thought that was good. But I think the more natural that we stay, the more that we don't eat out of a box, and that's how I was told literally by the nurse that was helping me, the more we cook our own meals too. And for your own information, I'm going to sneak in another video. It's another link that I'm going to put in. And, you know, and it goes right with what I said about my grandmother, about love your food, cook with it, talk to it, thank it often, and sing to it. And in another video, I talked about how the Native Americans would sing to the corn. And well, they were singing, you know, they were on their knees and singing, and they, you know, everything flourished. So it's yet another example of how food cooked at home is so much healthier than fast food. And everybody goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm direct proof, you know, and I can see it now. And it's better than food cooked in, you know, in restaurants in many cases. And I want to share this with you, except for local restaurants. Like there's a really good spaghetti and meatballs and melted cheese type of restaurant here that I really like. And you go and you encourage them and you buy local. That's not the same thing as McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's. And you got to see this video on this topic, and you'll probably never go to McDonald's to eat French fries again. Again, I'm proof of this, that good health is, is going to be rewarded. Just like, just like eating from McDonald's. Remember that video of that guy that ate at McDonald's for 30 days and he ends up puking. Okay, so there you go. And I'm proof that it's working because I just got a green light from the recent blood sample that I just got, and they do not lie. And all of a sudden my work is paying off, staying away from, or not staying away, just trying to be lenient on the sweets, trying to back off from them, or, not stop them completely, right? Everything's good in balance, like they say, right? So you can have a sweet maybe once every second day or whatever, and this is proof. Again, that's the third time I said it, sorry. So as I close for this episode, just a reminder and a couple of things for you to think about. First of all, how powerful you are. Think about how powerful you are. Yes, the person reading this, you have the power to do whatever you want to, for the rest of your life. You can start all over right now, this second, if you wanted to. So, be aware. Your unlimited potential as well. That's crazy. Your unlimited potential. Think of, how did my father say that? The limit to your success is the limit of your imagination. Also, the reasons why things are happening to you. I found that really interesting with my cancer too. I had to face a lot of demons, and face to face with my past, my dysfunctional past, etc. You are your own world. I love that one. Your world is the way you want it, the way you carry yourself, the way you deal with everything day by day. It's awesome. And don't let anybody change that, and this is where abuse comes in. It's always nice. Relationships are always great in the beginning, but then after a while it's like, oh, we're 30 years later after marriage, for 30 years and he hasn't changed yet. So just make sure that you're living the life that you want to live and make it happen. It's all about motivation. You put stuff that motivates you to heal all around you, and it works. It really does. It really, really works. And I'm proof of it. And I'm going to be a pain in the butt for years to come, sadly, for some people. But hey, and this brings us to the end of this show. I'm going to make it really quick. I had to talk about placebo and nocebo today, and also, about you being the sum total of your actions until now. So anything that you decide to do from now on, you can do. It's as simple as that. We have the power, and let's make it happen. And we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for viewing.